So today we're going to react to the top 10 scariest places on Earth by Wacky Wednesdays.
Richard and Nicole.
No.
Half and quarter.
From creepy islands full of weird and scary dolls, to underground tunnels lined with the skulls and bones of millions of people, we take a look at 10 of the scariest places on Earth. Number 10, Snake Island. The main way this island could be additionally unnerving is if it were made of floating snakes. It's a restricted island 93 miles south of Sao Paulo, Brazil, and is home to a deadly pit viper known as the golden lancehead, which is among one of the most venomous snakes in the whole world. Scientists believe that there's one snake for each square meter of Snake Island. Luckily, regardless if you're a snake lover or not, you can't go to Snake Island. It's so dangerous that the Brazilian army has forbidden anyone but support groups and researchers to access it. Number 9, Museum Vrolijk. Like a Disneyland for the rationally irritated, Amsterdam's Museum Vrolijk is most likely the world's most shifted gathering of distortions this side of an Ozark family get-together. In spite of the fact that the investigation of medicinal oddities advances our comprehension of science, we can just envision what number of visitors wound up scarred for life subsequent to popping in to request directions to the Tulip Exhibition Hall. Number 8, Riddle House. The Riddle House in Palm Beach County, Florida, was initially a memorial service parlor. The Victorian house was destroyed and remade in Yesteryear Village at the South Florida Fairgrounds. In the 1920s, the house turned out to be privately owned by Carl Riddle. Joseph, one of Riddle's previous employees, hung himself in the loft of the house. Joseph, for reasons unknown, loathed men, and showcased this disdain by assaulting any man who entered the loft. One man had a lid flung at his head, and men are currently not permitted in the loft. Different places in the house are haunted also, with the furniture even being reported to move on its own. Number 7, the Corpse Tunnels. In 1924, the exhausting wood-encircled 2-story structure was torn down and replaced with a 5-story Gothic behemoth that still stands on the grounds to this day. Because of the highly infectious nature of TB, once you checked in, you never left again. Specialists, medical attendants, staff, and patients alike weren't allowed to ever leave the grounds once they set foot inside Waverly. When you left the hill, it was within a body bag. Many individuals left the hill. Number 6, Helltown. Some legends of Helltown add to the creepy element. The steep Stanford Road drop-off, promptly followed by a dead end, is appropriately named the End of the World. In the event that you get stuck at this dead end for an extended period of time, you may meet your end because of numerous individuals from the unending parade of monstrosities watching the forested areas. Satanist, Ku Klux Klan individuals, escaped mental patients, an abnormally huge snake, and mutants brought on by an alleged chemical spill. Number 5, Lake Natrone. Situated close to the Tanzanian-Kenyan border, Lake Natrone takes its name from the kind of salt in its waters. At Lake Natrone, the waters embalm many creatures consistently. The serene lake is deadly to virtually every living thing aside from a certain type of extremophile fish. Whatever comes into contact with Natrone or its vapors for a really long time dies, because of the lake's crazy sodium levels that make it almost as destructive as ammonia. As a result of its alkalinity and temperatures that can shoot up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, the lake dries out and calcifies the creatures' bodies. Number 4, the Destitute Cemetery City. Families of the perished must pay rent to guarantee their friends and family stay undisturbed inside the tombs. The initial 6 years following the burial are free, be that as it may. After that, they're charged $24 for each progressive 4 years of internment at the general cemetery. Those not able to make installments see their relatives' graves stamped with red paint. The bodies are taken out, bagged, and in the event they aren't picked up by their relatives, unceremoniously dumped all at once into expansive mass graves. It is not an uncommon event. It happens each and every morning. Number 3, Suicide Forest. It's the second most famous spot to commit suicide around the world, after San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge. It turns into the last resting spot to so many Japanese subjects consistently. to such an extent that the government has taken to downplaying the statistics to abstain from empowering copycats, and has put various signs everywhere throughout the woodland begging individuals not to do it. At the same time, the immeasurability of the forested areas and the scary calmness still entices numerous people in their moments of gloom to wander into Suicide Forest with no expectation of coming back out. Number 2. The French Catacombs. Underneath the roads of Paris is a mind-boggling arrangement of passages and caves formed from the bones of somewhere around 6 and 7 million dead Parisians.
Really, George?
Ossuaries are intrinsically
Really?
dreadful in light of the fact that they include building a building out of bones. At the point when what you've built is a dim, underground maze with dividers made of skulls that sneer at you, you'd be excused for having a claustrophobic fit of anxiety. Actually, the catacombs of Paris are so elaborate that in 2004, the French police found a motion picture theater and completely supplied bar working in a segment that was off limits and thought to be abandoned. Number 1. Island of the Dolls.
Oh,
Island
yeah.
of the Dolls is a
Oh my
bone-chilling
gosh.
spot because
Yeah.
somebody invested decades in making it this way. Don Julian Santabarrera left his wife and family one day to go live on the island situated in Techuilo Lake, Mexico. While there,
It would
he
be in
supposedly
Mexico,
came
too.
across a young lady who had drowned in the lake. However, it's conceivable he envisioned the entire thing. At any rate, he later discovered a doll that may have been hers and hung it up in the trees as a sign of respect. The story comes full circle in 2001 when Barrera was found drowned in the same place he believed the young girl had died.
Wow.
Oh, creepy.
Oh, it was the hotels. And that, guys, is Nicole.
It's what?
It's Nicole.
Oh my gosh.
Because we're on camera. That's Nicole. That's a wrap.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what?
That's Nicole. Cheat and Jizz. And you know, the guy with the beard.
Peace. Subscribe. Because I need to
Bye.
make some money so I can quit my job.
We all quit our jobs.